What are some symptoms, some ways that you can start recognizing cognitive decline and that might be an issue for you? As we get older, I'm in that group now. You start to think about cognitive decline. I think, as we get between around age 30, sadly, our skills sort of naturally decline. And I think those of us in that above 30 start to feel that over time. You want to get after that as soon as you can. If there's an issue with cognitive decline, you don't want to wait too long to get help. So here are 5 things to look for as you consider the potential for cognitive decline. So one would be, the most obvious, I think we all feel, is memory loss. But if there's really frequent forgetfulness, right? You're forgetting like learned information, names, appointments maybe that you have, conversations that you've had. If you're having the same conversation like with your loved ones over and over again and forgetting that you had already had that conversation, or having a conversation and listening and not recalling it later. Those start to become red flags if that's happening frequently. If you have to rely on memory aids, so needing a lot of reminders for things, sticky notes. If you have to use your phone all the time for reminders, which I do, I love that feature of my smartphone. But if you really have to have that to remember basic things, that starts to become a red flag. Second, greater difficulty with problem solving. So things like, for example, challenges with finances or complex tasks. So keeping track of bills, maybe that, you never had an issue remembering that deadline. And then all of a sudden you're starting to forget, like, oh, I've missed that credit card payment or something like that, right? So if you're, a family recipe that you're used to making and you're having a hard time following those small steps to get that done, those would be red flags. Or having a hard time concentrating, really having difficulty focusing on just a single task would lead to poor decisions, incomplete work. That's an issue. Third, if you're having language problems, so having a hard time finding the words, being mid-sentence, and then all of a sudden you can't find the right word, or calling objects by the wrong name is a red flag. Having a hard time while you're having a conversation, maybe losing track of where you are during the discussion, or needing people to repeat themselves. Now, if that needing people to repeat themselves is more of a hearing loss issue, that's also a red flag of something to be proactive to take care of, because memory loss can actually hasten cognitive decline. So if you need hearing aids or something like that, don't hesitate or wait, procrastinate to take care of that, because that'll help protect your cognitive skills as you get older. Getting lost more frequently, kind of disorientation. So losing track of, kind of especially familiar places you've been to before, even close to home, forgetting routes that you once knew well, or difficulty with more spatial awareness. So misjudging distances, navigating stairs or obstacles in your home or elsewhere that maybe you didn't struggle with before. And then lastly, mood and personality changes. Withdrawing from social activities is a big red flag, because sometimes if your skills are declining, like if you can't process this quickly, social settings can be hard because of the banter back and forth that puts pressure on your processing skills. Changes in your personality, so being more irritable, more anxious, or really unusually suspicious or paranoid can be signs that the cognitive decline might be taking hold. So there's a couple of ways that we can help in that. One is that we can do several types of assessments. One is called CogniView, where it's a 30-minute screening that can tell you if you're having those issues. And if you're near one of our centers in Savage, Eagan, or Woodbury, we actually would do that for free for you. Or you can get a more complex cognitive skills assessment. But yeah, if those are issues and you're seeing those potential issues, don't procrastinate. Figure out what's happening before you have too great of cognitive decline and it becomes harder to help.